Let me first introduce myself. I think that's only proper. My names are Dede Ntsoelengoe, and I'm from Soweto, which is a township southwest of Johannesburg. It's a very interesting township because of the politics of the past. I grew up there, and my political activism as a student and youth started all there. And they say once an activist, always an activist. So it has never stopped. And I am one of so many who found themselves shipped to that island to serve time in prison. And that's what I did, serve time, until, of course, Mandela and de Klerk came up with a consensus on the way forward in terms of the future of this country. But we couldn't talk about the future of the country whilst we are locked in prisons, So first, that part had to be dealt with. And so I'm a beneficiary, like everybody else who was in that prison, of that agreement. Now, when this place opened as a museum, we were then asked to come back and to take people through this narrative, and to not only take people through the narrative. You see, for us, we don't look at Robben Island Museum as you walk in, you look, and then you go. But we look at Robben Island for us as a place where you come to reflect, to think about things, to come and drink from this well that never runs dry, or this tree that is forever burning, because this is a tree of freedom, of human rights, of social justice. And when you look around the world, many are going through what we in this country went through, and others worse off. And so we want people to come to Robben Island, to come and say, not in my name. You are all welcome to our family, because this is a family. Yeah. I spent 7 years on Robben Island, from 84 to 91, and I'm all yours.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that inspiring story of your life. Perhaps if you can share with us, you've already told us that you grew up in Soweto as a young man in Soweto. What really inspired you to join the struggle against apartheid, particularly because it was not a main fate, it was not an easy struggle. It meant physical harm to you and your family, continuous persecution and so forth. What really drove you to join the struggle against apartheid as a young person?
I tell this story in two parts, and this is one part I am going to say for the first time, actually. When you grow up in Soweto, my mom was a domestic worker. She worked for this Jewish family in a place called Randburg. Now, to get to Randburg, you must get on a train, get on a taxi to go to the suburbs. And when you grew up in Soweto or any other township in South Africa those days, and for the first time in your life, you leave the township to go into this world, you are going to, it's a culture shock, because you only know one thing: roads that are not tarred, no sanitation, you use a bucket to relieve yourself, no parks, no electricity. We at night, the moon was our best friend to navigate our way around, and so forth and so forth. The schools were terrible, and it will be one school for so many children, and the teacher, you've got so many children that the teacher at the end of the day is struggling, to know the names. So for one to be known immediately, well, you've got to be a very brilliant boy, or girl in the class. Then the teacher will know you immediately. Or the extreme of it, you are a very naughty guy and you are always in the principal's office. The teacher will know you immediately. That kind of thing. And some, halfway through the year, they've given up. What is supposed to be a science lab, we did theory, because there are no instruments, to mix and come up with the practical. What is supposed to be a library, it's a discussion, because there are no books for reference, and so forth and so forth. So that is an environment that challenges you. But you see, that environment doesn't only challenge you, it instills a sense of purpose to say, why?